Hey, welcome back. Yelling and screaming. This is NFL Week 4. We are at halftime of the very entertaining Vikings Steelers games. Sean, I don't know why we export our worst product to the rest of the world.
We got to give him something. Honestly, we can't give him primetime games. So let's give him a 2-2-1 teams that might give somebody a little interest and see how it goes. Especially if you're going to send a game to Europe, sending Vikings over there just makes sense.
I mean, they known for rating, not doing
Well,
much today.
you're not saying the Raiders, all right, just yet anyway.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. I think they're scheduled for this year, aren't they? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I got week 4.
Fan.
That's about all I got. I don't know. I did a bunch of game boards for all the weeks with matching by weeks to week 5, but that's about all I got in my head right now.
1 week at a time. I take a life 1 week at a time. No need to look that far in the future.
Hey, Yelling and Screaming brought to you by our friends over at Phantom Odds. If you think you're going to win your fantasy matchup this week, talk is cheap. Everybody got that guy to talk a bunch of shit, but can't back it up at all. Our friends at Phantom Odds are willing to help you put your money where your mouth is. They'll give you betting lines for your fantasy league. So stop talking trash and start backing it up. Hit our referral link in the description to the video, phantomodds.com. Sean, week 4, I really enjoyed kind of getting into this slate, and I think there's some good games here. We went a little off the beaten path with our game of the week. We'll get to that. But we actually had like a decent Thursday night game. Let's talk a little bit about the Seahawks and Cardinals. Seahawks win 23-20. You have any major takeaways from Thursday night?
The game got exciting toward the end, but the first half was abysmal for the Cardinals. And you could tell that they really relied on James Conner, and they were not able to do that in this game. I think for me, the focus is definitely the issue for this team. Kyler, when he's on, can get the ball down the field, get the ball to his receivers. And when he's not, he just makes bonehead passes, overthrowing, underthrowing receivers. And then on the flip side, Marvin Harrison Jr. has all of the talent, I believe, but none of the focus that his father had. And I think he still has this chip on his shoulder about pedigree of being a Harrison. Being a wide receiver, he's got that first and last name, so he feels like he's got to live up to this expectation. And I think for him, the focus should really be on the fundamentals of securing the ball when it's in your hands. Interception off a ball that you just dupe comes out, like you got to secure that tight grip on that ball. And so I think that's really the biggest thing for me for them. They still look strong as a 2-1 team, but after losing Connor and seeing what the team's focus is, it's just difficult for me to see them being successful in this division.
Yeah, I had a lot of notes about Marvin Harrison, and I think you put it really well. The lack of focus seems to be an issue there. But there's a big difference between Syracuse and Ohio State from an academic standpoint. So I don't think it's fair for us to hold it against him because he went to a school that didn't expect him to be able to read. So reading defenses and falling into the correct spots in his zone, that's not really on him. That's on the coaching. And this is a Cardinals coaching staff that has seen turnover. Obviously, you pay your former coach a whole boatload of money. He can't get it done with mostly the same cast. So, the players need to be ultimately responsible. And Kyler looked bad. Spent most of the first half looking like he was thinking about loadouts for Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. And then, really snapped in the second half. And I think for me, it was kind of that look at Kyler. Like, he is a really good, really accurate quarterback who makes really good decisions, except when he's not. And that's kind of been the Kyler experience, right? Like, he's both those things. And it averages him out to a quarterback that's not going to win you a playoff game because you're not in position to go to the playoffs. If we could get that second half, Kyler, he was making his reads, he was using his feet appropriately, gaining yards. I mean, they came back. They were the better team in the second half, and they really had a chance to win that game. Obviously, bad Kyler comes out and kind of ices it away, but I think we've seen what Kyler is. Do you have any? Is there any scenario in your mind where Kyler Murray becomes a perennial Pro Bowler and is a playoff winning quarterback, or is this kind of it for him?
I don't see that being the case unless he's able to play in a system where he doesn't have to think about reads. He's just able to play the game. I think that the Cardinals to me look like an AAU football team. They're super talented. They're the team that's got five kids who are going to go, five kids who can go D1 anywhere. But they just don't have the mentality of a well-oiled machine. Like when he can get that ball to McBride, when he can get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., it's clean, it's crisp. They can get the ball in their hands. They can make something happen. But when he's running, honestly, when he's able to play the game in his style and play the game with like almost fast and loose, it kind of feels like that's his game. But when you try to polish him up, have him sit him in the pocket, and he's got pressure on him, and he's got to look at all these reads. He's got to do, he's not going to give you Peyton Manning level decision making. He's not going to give you a Pro Bowl quarterback decision making if you just sit him in the pocket. You have to play to his strengths. And so I feel like right now they're just not playing to the strength. At least in the first half of that game, they did not play to a strength. I think in the second half, they just said, yo, just play. Just let it be. And I think that's where you see him shine a lot more. So my takeaway is I don't see that in this game on this team with the style of play that they're trying to implement in the first half of this game. And I don't see him as a perennial Pro Bowler in this league right now with the skills of the guys that we have, guys that can play moving the ball down the field, whether they're being pressured or not. It's tough. I mean, you look at a guy like Goff or Stafford, they're going to and they're your perennial Pro Bowl quarterbacks right now in the NFC. And then Love is on their heels right now. There's a couple other guys too. Baker's right there too. Like, I just don't see him in that caliber quarterback. I can't put him any higher than a mid-tier quarterback. I really can't. And realistically, when he's bad, he's a bottom-tier quarterback. When he's good, he's a mid-tier quarterback because he just doesn't have the consistency in his play to be able to place at the top of those guys.
On the other side of the ball, Seahawks obviously get the win. I was a little concerned. Their timeshare running back thing they have going on doesn't let anyone really get the hot hand rolling. I guess if you put all the stats together, it's an elite level running back altogether. My concern is these guys are often injured. They don't really flow well game style with each other. Instead of getting like a third down back, you almost get like one drive for Walker and one drive for the charred bonnet. And then the other guys mixed in. I think that's something they'll have to come to terms with. I know it's a relatively new offensive set, with a new quarterback there, but I just wasn't impressed by the running backs individually, where overall I think the numbers were there. But that's something I'm going to be looking out for in the future for the Seahawks, because I'm not sure that's going to work forever.
They definitely don't have a third down back. And I think that's the problem. They have two guys who you can expect to go on first and second, and they don't have a bruiser. Like, they don't have a guy who you bring in, you're like, I need 1 yard. I need 2 tough yards. Who am I bringing in? I think both of them have the skill set to be able to be a solid running back in the NFL, but you're not getting that dynamic duo where you get like a Gibbs and a Montgomery. Like, that's just not the case here. And so it's almost more like a McCaffrey, Brian Robinson Jr. situation, where both of them could be potential starters on the team. But it just, it's not going to feel like this is my heavy back. This is my guy who I need to get a couple of yards from. They're both guys who play pretty similar. I think Kenneth Walker, definitely has the edge here as far as play style. I think he's definitely a more polished back overall. Definitely has some more explosive plays. But obviously he is getting slightly more touches. And he is pretty much named the one, so that's got to weigh on your mentality if you're Charbonnet. And also he just came off. He was questionable, if I'm not mistaken. So he was activated for that game. So we wanted to make sure that, like, obviously he's not going to see as much. And in this game, the run needed to happen. They needed to have that run game going in order to keep the Cardinals from getting hot, which they didn't do late on. So I definitely think in the future they're going to have to figure out like a timeshare, and I think really it's more of like a 70-30. Like, just let Kenneth Walker run the ball, let him get a good feeling for the offense, let him get a really good relationship with that offensive line and those tackles and those guards, and then really start to feel the flow of that offense. I think that's going to be their best bet. if he stays healthy.
One last note on the Thursday night game, we saw the unveiling of Nike's first rivalries uniform. Sean, I have some thoughts. What did you think of the Cardinals uniforms?
Some people did not necessarily like them. And in all honesty, something clicked with me that I can't unsee. And it's so Midwest or Southwest, sorry, that it like touches a couple of the jerseys look like tortillas. They look like tortillas, and now you can't unsee it because the whole team was just a bunch of burritos. They had a football team full of burritos, baby. Like once somebody pointed that out to me, I was like, okay, this is kind of funny.
I didn't like them before you said that. I thought as I fuck my camera complaining about jerseys, I thought the helmets were good. I thought the helmets were real sharp looking. Kind of that did invoke Southwest for me. I thought the field looked great.
Field was
the
awesome.
End zones were beautiful, but
field was awesome.
The uniforms put me down a black hole of data mining for the rest of this rivalry lineup, and they're all kind of sus. They're all not great. The Rams might be my favorite out of the whole set, but like the Bills are wearing like a beveled steel snow jersey. It's wild. I don't know what Nike's doing, but the concept with these is that these are supposed to be available to teams going forward. So we'll probably see the dirty tortillas again.
Honestly, they didn't do them any good. I don't know if you want to keep with them, but I liked it. I think and as soon as I saw it, and now, mind you, I was back in Pennsylvania, so I was with a bunch of people who had no idea, and I'm like, that's definitely a tortilla. That's 100% a tortilla. It made me want to go grab some Mexican food, baby. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Taco Bell sponsorship tie-in.
Nah, you gotta get that. That not Goya. Oh my goodness. Who's the Mission? The tortilla company. You got to get one of them. Taco Bell. Jeez, come on now. Of all Del Taco sponsorship.
All right, stacked slate. We are back live in Ireland. I don't know. Minnesota's got the ball again. I'm not interested in this game. If anything interesting pops up, I'll try to bring it up. But we got a fun game of the week. We went not like the big one, right? The everyone in America is talking about Cowboys Packers, but that only has one good team in it. So we picked one that has two good teams. About the Colts and the Rams kicking off on Sunday. This could be a huge game for both of these teams. Undefeated Colts team, undefeated Daniel Jones. That is a story all by itself. Looked good so far. Rams obviously coming off a tough loss.
The toughest.
Yeah, probably not the better team in that game, but a tough loss through and through. Sean, give me a little bit on the Colts or the Rams here.
Well, the Rams play the Eagles pretty well. We saw that last year, and they looked this year to pick up on that momentum this year. They played a tough game. They really did. Obviously, the Eagles looked very one-dimensional early on, and then they decide, okay, we're going to throw the ball. And when they did, damn, did they look good. We still know they have really good receivers, and so we got to see some really, really good offense to counter that Rams' good secondary and that pass rush that they had that was really just holding the Eagles to a one-dimensional game. But special teams is scary right now. I don't know what the Rams do to change this up. Obviously, having two of the best defensive guys in Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, in that middle, just terrifying your special teams guy, is probably what led to those two blocks. But I mean, there should be no hangover this week. I think they come in angry. I think they come in frustrated after that loss in a game that they should have won, very much so. And so I think that they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder against this Colts team. Now, mind you, this Colts team really doesn't have anything. They're just playing very loose and playing with a lot of fun right now. I think that's really where Daniel Jones is. I compared him to if Andrew Luck was on parole. Like he has to play like he's a guy who needs a check, and he's playing like that. And you've got a top running back. Your defense is playing well, and you don't have any of the media pressure that you have in New York. None of it whatsoever. You don't have the BS in the front office that New York has. You have your own stuff, but you don't have the same stuff that you have there. And so I think he's just able to play football. I think he had too many distractions in New York, and I think he's where he could be right now and be a successful quarterback. He's just making the right reads. Receivers being where he needs them to be and putting the ball on them.
I look at the division, and AFC South not known for a whole hell of a lot at this point, but the Texans and Titans play each other today. One of those teams is going to be 0-4. The other will be 1-3. The Jags have the Niners. They'll probably be 2-2. A 4-0 Colts team is trending toward winning the division. I know it's week 4. It's early. I get it.
Even 3-1. Even 3-1. Depends on how well of a showing they put in today. I think against that pass rush of the Rams, I think if they can control the ball, control the clock, and let Jonathan Taylor just keep pounding away. Don't let them get back. Don't force Daniel Jones to be playing back on his heels. I think that's their strong suit. Get the ball to those receivers. They can make people miss if they need to, and just try to get that ball down the field. But that's going to be what they need to do today in order to have a successful game. Even if they go 3-1, I think that still puts them in the driver's seat for this division. It is a very soft division right now. The other two bottom teams didn't do enough to put themselves in any type of contender situation, and so you're really seeing that now. And a 2-2 Jaguars team, which is against not good teams. It's not like they're playing, they're not playing powerhouse teams in the NFL right now. So I think this definitely puts them in the driver's seat in the division.
I watched the film on the Colts, and I feel like they should be quarterback agnostic. It really shouldn't matter who's back there. They have a pretty good defense. They have JTT. I feel like I could stand back there and we could at least be in games, right? So Daniel Jones being able to throw, right? There was never a knock against him. It's not that he couldn't make the throws. It's that he had a nasty habit of giving games away. I think
he also had a terrible offensive line.
And so I think like having the quarterback not matter and then having Daniel Jones play a very complete and well-rounded game manager plus role for this team puts you in a position in a very weak division where you can kind of coast your way to 8 or 9 or 10 wins. My concern is eventually Daniel Jones is going to be asked to win a game. And can he do that, right? Can Daniel Jones come back down 10, win a game with his arm, with his legs, getting open, maneuvering in the pocket? Can he do that? And if he can, this Colts team is going to be dangerous in January.
True.
My concern is what if he cannot? And this Rams team is better than most of the teams they've played. A Rams team that gave the Eagles fits with their scheme. Is it fair for us to assume that Daniel Jones is going to be able to do anything against that front? I think the Rams secondary can give him some looks that he isn't ready for. Some of the trouble he had with the Washington football team specifically, I remember, is if you blitz a safety, he gets rattled. I don't know if he's making his initial read, and his initial reads have been good. His initial reads have been really clean. We've seen that this year. But like if the defensive formation shifts on you while you're going through your looks, can you refine the right look? And so this one for me, Rams are 3.5-point favorites. I think I have the Rams winning this game. But even if the Colts lose this game, if Daniel Jones looks good against pressure, if Daniel Jones looks good against a pretty good Rams secondary, I'm really, really excited for the Colts. And I think that the Colts have a great opportunity to, even in a loss, kind of establish what their playoff team looks like versus a regular season team. And so that's what I'll be looking for is what does Daniel Jones do in very specific situations where he's failed in the past?
They have a pretty soft schedule too, just looking at it and looking at the teams that are typically perennial sub 500 teams. I mean, you got the Raiders, the Cardinals, then at Chargers. That's going to be a really tough game. And then Titans, at Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs aren't looking that great. Texans, Jaguars are mid-tier. Seahawks are solid. We'll see how that goes. Niners aren't looking great. Jaguars again, and then Texans. Like this looks it already with 3 wins. This is easily a 10-win team. It should easily be a 10-win team as long as they can keep it together. We'll see how they look late in the season. But closing out the season against the Niners, Jags, and Texans might give you that edge that you need to get a good position here. So if I'm the Colts, I'm really happy about the way this season looks. Gotta get through the Rams here. And they are not a team that's going to roll over. I feel like the Rams is their game to lose here, and they're just going to be angry at home. And they're just going to have that chip on their shoulder, and I think that's going to push them over the edge. But look out for the Colts to really play a strong game here.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Vikings punted. Pittsburgh punted. Vikings have the ball again. Let's get into the Week 4 slate here. Pretty good set of games. Started off. We got the Washington football team and the Falcons. This one's all over the place. Line's been moving quite a bit. Bill playing? Yes? Question mark. This opened Washington -1.5. This is all the way to Falcons -2.5. I think the Falcons are in trouble. I think the Falcons are in big trouble. I have a lot of draft equity in Penix. I would also like to see him do well. I am no longer concerned about him proving he can perform at a high level. I'm concerned about him not getting cut from this team. Obviously, that won't happen this year, but this Falcons offense is bad. They are really bad. Game flow against the Vikings, I thought, okay, they're going to run the ball, and that's the plan. And so it doesn't matter what Penix stats are, right? Like they ran the ball intentionally. They won the game. And then he got blanked by the Panthers 30-0. And that score wasn't even indicative of how bad that ass whooping was. That cannot happen. If you want to be the class of this division, you can't lose to a guy that shouldn't be a college quarterback and the shitty cast of characters the Panthers have around them. That was unacceptable. So now you go against a Washington team who I don't think it's crazy to say is better than the Panthers. I don't even care who's playing the quarterback. Even with Mariota back 100%. There, they're better than the Panthers. So what happens here with the Falcons? This is like, this could be the season here. I mean, you're setting a tone where you're incapable of running, you're incapable of passing, and you're incapable of playing defense. That's the end of your year.
You're not wrong, but I will say that I feel like this is a big overreaction. Personally, I think it's a big overreaction. You look at the first 2 games of the season, and they beat the Vikings, strong, pretty solid defensive team. They lose in a tight game against the Bucs. And then you just have what I call an anomaly game. I mean, playing at the Panthers, a divisional team, whatever the Panthers scheme or design was, it got into his head. It got into Penix's head. I think that playing at home against the Commanders might be his way to kind of draw himself back. I've got a little more faith in Michael Penix Jr. than a few other people that obviously his own team does. But it's in getting benched in that game. Really shouldn't do anything to him. It's like, all right, this game's over. Like, let's just move on. You can go ahead and rest. Like, let's start planning and scheming for the next game. I think that's what that was. I don't think that was like, oh my God, his career's over. Like, if we want to talk about 3 games in which 2 of the games you had, you won, and one was really close, and then one that was really bad. Like, come on now, we've watched quarterbacks get destroyed in this NFL and come back and play very, very good football. So, I mean, I can't hold that against him for his whole career. I don't think he's going to get cut after this. But I do think that, obviously, he's got to get it together today. The Commanders are a significantly better team than the Panthers are. They're not a divisional team, so obviously you don't see them as much. So they don't have the same schemes on you the way that the way your divisional rivals do. But they're a solid team. And even with McNichols back there, even with Mariota back there, the offense looks like it can definitely give you fits on the defensive side. And so I think that's going to be that's a problem too. Like the Commanders defense got to play good defense. Or the Commanders, the Falcons defense got to play good defense as well. They become a really one-dimensional team when it's only Bijan. That's it. So you really have to move the ball down the field. You got to hit your receivers. You got some decent receivers. Like, get them the ball. And so that's really going to be the case. I don't know how they scheme against this Commanders team. Are they going to play a little bit more over the middle? Are they going to get those receivers going those out routes? Are they going to try to make some deep shots down the field? We'll see how they plan it up, but they have to get a game plan that plays to their strengths and plays to Penix's accuracy as a quarterback without having him sit back there for 12 million years. Because if that's the case, then he's just going to get destroyed again, and it's going to be another bad game.
Chargers, Giants. Sean, I said it last week and was totally vindicated in my view. I'm going to say it again here. Where is this Chargers disrespect coming from? Chargers are 6-point favorites against Jackson Dart. Please. That is so absurd to me. Jackson Dart starting in the NFL is absurd to me. The disrespect back-to-back weeks on the Chargers, who have done nothing but prove that they are the class of the AFC West, is insane. Insane. Chargers -6. I like Jackson Dart to throw 2 picks today.
You know what? I like that too. Honestly, I'm not sold on Jackson Dart just yet. He came in and played 3 drives where he just ran the ball. Like that didn't show me anything. And for him to go up against a Chargers team who is looking really, really strong right now on offense and in defense, I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be a blowout. The Giants defense has not shown me that they can stop a good offense or a mediocre offense to say the least. Like they
or
just
the Cowboys.
Honestly, I don't know what you say about that, but they haven't shown me that they can really do anything in order to stop these teams. And so I'm not expecting that this game is going to be anything less than a Commanders two-score win, or Chargers 2-score win. It's just going to be a bloodbath. It should be. Dart will be fun to watch. If you are the Commanders, maybe the reason why they didn't give him the line is because they don't know what they're expecting out of Dart at all. And so, is he going to come out and just be like Bo Nix, your favorite guy? Is he going to come out and is he going to be dynamic and running the ball and passing? Or is he just going to be one-dimensional and sit back there and try to get the ball down the field? We'll see how they plan this game, but I'm not expecting too much from him. 2 picks sounds like it makes sense to me. But we'll see how he manages the ball.
I'm just a little bit biased. I'm going to call out my bias because, my boy, we should be eating W's. We should have Winston in the game. I don't understand why Russell Wilson got the job. I don't understand why Jackson Dart got the job. You have a Super Bowl winning quarterback just sitting back there.
I see why Russell Wilson got the job. Hell, against a bad defense, he put up 450 yards.
He still got it.
I can see today. He's like, I still got it. He did. They're going to give these older guys who've got some championship pedigree. They're going to give them a shot. The Flaccos, the
Bengals. The Bengals. Be ready for it.
Honestly, it depends on what happens. If Browning keeps winning, there's no reason to move him. We'll see. Russ to the Commanders. If the Commanders need some help. If Mariota doesn't keep getting it done, we'll see.
Battle of the winless in the AFC South. What do you got on Titans, Texans?
I had so much more high hopes for the Texans this year. I really did. I thought getting back their receiver and knowing that your offensive line is bad and expecting that you're going to do some work on that. It's just sad. What I am excited to see is this QB battle between the young Cam Ward and the rising star that Stroud is supposed to be. If these defensive lines can't do anything and these quarterbacks get all day to throw the ball, we could look at this could be a very high scoring game. So that's the only takeaway I'm taking from this is it's going to be warm where they're playing, and it could be a high scoring game depending on how bad the defenses play at the line.
I mean, the Texans are the better team, yeah, in your opinion?
I would say so. I can't say that I'm not excited about seeing Tennessee. I think that they have some pieces in place where they could continue to grow and develop. But as far as we go, you've got better receivers, you've got a better running back, and you've got a quarterback who's actually made the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Texans are the best. And they're playing at home, which it's not that far away. But still, home game's a home game.
Eagles Bucks, just a peek behind the curtain. The way I do my notes is I will have my most overreactionary, absurd take And then I'll go back and refine on the games where I actually want to talk about it a little bit. I know if you watch our show, that might seem like not how I do it. But I have down, this is the first real challenge for the Eagles Buccaneers. Obviously, the game against the Rams was a really good football game, but I think the Eagles did more to lose that game than the Rams did to win it. The Bucs is probably the best offense they've seen. So I'm excited to see an Eagles team that hasn't looked quite like the Eagles, right? I'm excited to see how they handle a red hot Baker Mayfield. But you're way closer to the Eagles than I am. What do you got on Eagles Bucs?
Well, I got a couple questions for you. Do you think that Bucky Irving is a better running back than Kyron Williams?
Yes.
I disagree with you there. Do you think that that the wide receivers for the Bucs are better than the wide receivers?
No.
Okay. Do you think that Baker's better than Stafford? I'd probably put them at the same tier quarterback personally.
Fair, right? But I would also make the argument that the units as a whole for the Bucs, when you include the defense as well, I think the Bucs are better than the Rams on a neutral field head-to-head.
Fair enough. Well, this is a home game for the Bucs, so take that into play. If you're the Eagles, honestly, every week somebody wants to take you down. Every single week. Doesn't matter what it is. So they're going to be playing the same football every week, playing with the chip, playing like everybody who hates them, playing like everyone wants the tush push to go away, playing like they're a team that people keep underestimating their quarterback. If you're Baker Mayfield, you're going to play the same way you play every game. You're playing 4 quarters of football. So I think this is going to be – I genuinely love the way he plays. I think as far as attitudes – and personalities, I think this is going to be the biggest challenge for the Eagles as far as personality in the quarterback. Baker's not giving up shit. All right, he's going to play. He's going to run hard. If he needs to get a first down, he's running into you. He's not pulling punches. He's going to give you a lot of energy. He's going to keep his team hyped this entire game. Playing at home is definitely a benefit for them. This Eagles team, when they throw the ball, they look good. When they run the ball only, they're a one-dimensional team. So they have to play both sides of they got to play both sides offense, and they got to play pass, and they got to play rush. They got to give the defense more to look at than just Saquon, Jalen. Saquon, Jalen. Like, that can't be the case. And they've got such dynamic receivers. I mean, no losses when Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith all started and all play a game. No losses. 18 straight wins, including a Super Bowl. Unheard of. So, I mean, I called it out right now. I got the Eagles in this game. I will bet on the Eagles every single week until someone gets injured or I start to see them lose games. Because even when their defense isn't doing as well, the special team steps up. So, like, what do you say there?
Eagles minus 3.5. Total's kind of low for me. 44.5. I'm on the over here.
Have we had an Eagles under yet? What's the point?
So. And 44 is kind of a low number.
It's low as hell.
Well, for a Bucs team that can score 35 in their sleep, So I'm excited for this one. This should be a really good game in the early slate. This will definitely get some attention from me.
It's going to be the secondary. Eagles secondary is where it's going to matter. If their secondary gets it done, then they're done. Then it's a good game.
And I feel like we've said that
every single
3 out of 4 weeks, right? So if we can talk about it, you best believe NFL offices know it too. So it's something to watch.
Well, CJ Gardner-Johnson just got cut. He just got
cut. CJ. Oh no, he's been cut. He's on a different team already, isn't he?
No, not by the Eagles. He was cut by his team. He was let go. So they might bring him back. Rosen might bring him back.
No shit. Oh well, the Texans defense kind of sucked, so that makes sense. They should bring him back. He fits that whole vibe.
The Eagles vibe way better, dude.
He is Philly as shit, man. He is.
100%. And then that bolsters your nickel.
Yeah,
I think definitely that's a good pick to bring back. But if they can bring him back, then that just, again, already Super Bowl contenders doing it again.
Kenneth Gainwell just scored near the end of the third quarter. 2 touchdowns for Gainwell, 21-6 Steelers.
Guess who picked up Gainwell this week after James Conner went down?
It's a nice grab.
It's great grab.
Panthers and Patriots. I didn't have anything on this. You got it marked as a maybe. Give me 30 seconds on Panthers. Pats.
I'm not going to give you 30 seconds. Both of these teams, and it's going to be a fun game to watch. Honestly, it's just going to be an undisciplined game. It's going to be some turnovers in this game. So go ahead, have fun, watch it. Don't expect that anybody on your fantasy team is going to get you a ton of points. You're probably going to get more points from return men or kickers. So there you go.
Looks like Hubbard's going to play, but inactives are rolling in right now. Okay, Saints Bills. Can I give you just a couple statements and tell me if any of them are off base?
Give it to me.
The Saints suck.
Agreed.
The Bills are good.
Agreed.
A 16.5 point line is crazy. Crazy. It's sitting 15.5 now because obviously Vegas agreed. Like 16.5 is insane. It doesn't matter how shitty the Saints are. Like 17 points in an NFL game is like a million. Like that's a ton of points on a betting line.
Honestly, you're just setting people up for a field goal or some garbage time touchdown to kill your spread. Honestly, if I'm you, don't take the spread. What we could see here, by the way, is a game where James Conner is running the ball the whole time and Josh Allen doesn't do shit. We looked at week 2 and Josh Allen gave you the 10 points for fantasy. If you're expecting Josh Allen to throw 3-4 touchdowns in this game, look again. All right, it's going to be a game clock managed game. They're going to just run the ball the entire time. If you got Cook in this game right now, you're going to have a good week. But I'm telling you right now, this could very well be like a 21-14 game because the Bills' defense isn't good. Let's just be honest, the defense is not good.
That's a crazy shit. Like if I told you that the Bills won this by 3 and it was 44-41 or 21-18, like I feel like neither one would shock you. And if I told you the Saints didn't cover 16.5 because they lost by 3 touchdowns, like that wouldn't really shock me either. Like I want nothing to do with this game from a betting standpoint outside of Cook scoring a touchdown. Cook is gonna score.
He's gonna score 1, if not 2. Depends on they go to the backup running back by the second half. He's gonna give you 1, if not 2. If you're one of those wide receivers, is gonna give you a touchdown too. But that's gonna be. I mean, after that, it's just gonna be a game managed game. Like. It's like run the clock down, get out of this week. Bills don't care. I
could see a wide receiver for both teams having a rushing touchdown in this game. How about that?
That's a good one. I can see that too. Nice little end around.
Give me Shakir and Shaheed, both with rushing touchdowns in this
Shakir
game.
And Shaheed with rushing touchdowns. I like that. Let's put that in.
You could probably make a shit ton of money if you could find that in a book somewhere. Holy crap. Viewers, I have to give Sean some props. There are a lot of games not worth talking about. And I go through the game board usually earlier in the week and I mark all the ones I don't want to talk about. And Sean cares about you guys. He thinks we should touch on every single game. So I've got a 2-pack for you here that Sean's going to give you some information on. I don't even think they're worth talking about. So Sean, hit me with the Browns and the Lions.
Lions still got a really good offense. Browns showed that they can win a game last week. And so you really never, it's any given Sunday, but playing in Detroit against such a dynamic offense and a defense that has underperformed, in my opinion, earlier on this season, I think that this is going to be a game where the Lions can show that they are that class of the NFC and put them back in that spot right next to the Eagles up there at the top of the division or up top of the conference. So I'm going to take that one.
The Packers are going to look back at the way they embarrassed the Lions and regret it. They lit a fire under this Lions team, which from a personnel standpoint is better than the Packers. Love the Packers, love what they're doing. I think the Lions are better on paper. Beating the Lions the way they did lit a fire under this team. I think they're going to beat the Browns the way they beat the Bears.
Oh, yeah. I could see that being the case, but I don't know. The Browns are coming off a high last week, so they might be really feeling themselves. The defense might perform a little bit better. I don't disagree with you. But the defense might perform a little bit better than we expect. If this game was a 10-point game, I'd be like, all right, cool. If it's a 20-30 game, it's like, okay. If it was a 27-17 game, okay, no big deal. But the Lions can also score 50 on you. So, it depends on if they really get up on the Browns. Because if they get up, the problem with the Lions is if they get up, they just keep going. If the Lions get up by 2 scores, it's going to be 4 scores. But if they keep the game, if the Browns could keep the game tight and keep the Lions on their heels a little bit, then you'll see maybe an 8 to 10 point game, and that's realistic. But yeah,
line crept up to 10. So yeah,
that's where I would see it. 17-27 is something that I could see.
Oh, I lied. I do have something to say about this next one. Eagle-eyed viewers might see that I'm wearing a Jaguars jersey. I hate the Jaguars. This is a Tim Tebow jersey. This is a Tebow tight end jersey for the Jaguars. But hey, the Jags do
number 20. What is it? 28, 82? What number
85.
Is that? 85. Well, yeah, you got to screen. You got to mirror your screen, baby.
Oh, I probably should.
Wait, I'm like, what is that? A 28? What is that?
Oh, it is
numbers.
Oh, it's right for me,
dude.
I have a good side and a bad side, so I try to.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm like an Instagram girl. Jags play the Niners. Sean, what do you got on?
Niners put up a stinker last week against a soft team and barely snuck away. If you're playing at home, I mean that's usually a benefit. But if you are the Jaguars, you are feeling good about this game. I think that they can give the Niners some fits on defense, and I think that they have enough offensively to be able to pull away with this game. Give me the Jags in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of not. It doesn't feel good picking the Jaguars to beat the 49ers, but the 49ers aren't the 49ers that we remember in recent history here, right? Like they're not that team. The Jaguars suck, but like that's kind of where this is now, right? This isn't a game between an NFC contender and the Jaguars. This is a game between 2 teams that are kind of like the Jaguars, and the Jags are better at it. The Jags are better at being the Jaguars. This is kind of the weird game that they win. So I think I'm with you. I got the Jags here.
Yeah, definitely feels like it. Now the real game of the week,
Bears Raiders.
The real game of the week right here.
So let me give you something before I let you get in on your team, right? And I'll try to do it as respectfully as possible.
No, do it. Just hit me in the head.
The Bears were 1.5 point favorites. This line has moved. The Raiders are now 1.5 point favorites. So I have one question. If the Bears are 3 scores better than Dallas, what is this line?
I'm going to tell you right now that the Bears aren't necessarily 3 scores better than Dallas. Dallas is just Dallas. That's just the case. I don't think the Bears are 3 scores better than Dallas. And I don't think the Raiders are as bad as they showed last week, even though it was a bad game overall. I definitely think that there's something to be said about Geno Smith, and I think he's going to have to make adjustments in the way that he throws. I think part of the issue is that he's been playing with physical receivers, and that's not what the Raiders have anymore. Their wide receivers are not going to be guys who are going to be going up and contesting the ball in the same way. So he can't fit the ball in those tight windows anymore. He had tried to put the ball on some really tight windows, ended up throwing 2 interceptions in the end zone, right? And we can't do that. So we have to figure out ways to get his guys more space to lead them as opposed to putting the ball in a tight window. He's still got Brock Bowers, great tight end, and so you got to get him the ball, obviously. But Trey Tucker and Thornton on the outside, those guys are going to have to find ways to get themselves into space so that Geno can hit them with the ball, or Geno's got to put the ball in space and get them to get to it. Like that's going to be what they can do. He cannot rely on his receivers in tight coverage to be able to contest and make contested catches. It's just not going to happen for him. And I think that's the biggest deal. My biggest takeaway from last week in a game, by the way, that was a 2010 game. So it wasn't like they got blown out. But they definitely are not the team that I expected them to be. And I think that the receiver core is the weakness in this team. But pick up Tucker because he's going to get some catches this week. Like if you got a chance. As far as the Bears go, do what you need to do to beat the shit out of the Cowboys. Playing the Raiders at home, you feel good right now. You know the Raiders secondary is still something that's been challenged and not shown that they've been able to make that next leap to the next level to mid-tier secondary. So as long as they keep Max Crosby under control, I think the Bears have a shot at winning this game. But as a Raiders fan, if the team's sub 500, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'd like Rome to score again. He's having a really nice year he's putting together.
He's found his guy, I think.
I think I've got the Raiders here. This feels like it could be a real coming out party for the running game in general. Interested to see how this one goes.
Genty. I need to see it.
I've got a hot take for Ravens Chiefs. I don't think it's crazy to say the Ravens are a playoff team. But
are a playoff team?
Yes. I think this is the Ravens' last chance to prove that they belong in that conversation until the end of the year when they play Green Bay. The Ravens against playoff teams have lost. They've scored a lot of points. Their defense has looked atrocious. They've lost those games. So Ravens fans, don't get upset with me. The Ravens are going to go to the playoffs. They're going to win their division and go to the playoffs. I think this game against the Chiefs is their last opportunity to prove to America, to the viewers as a whole, that they actually belong in the conversation with the Eagles, the Rams, the Bills, the Chiefs to a lesser extent, right? You beat the Chiefs here, and you are a playoff team. You belong. You're the Ravens. You lose to the Chiefs here, the Ravens are still going to win their division. They're still going to go to the playoffs. But you don't have another game of substance until December 27th against the Packers. So you're going to have that media quiet. And I don't know what that does for the Ravens because I think they kind of thrive on that adversity. And if they're not playing games that anyone gives a shit about and all they've done is lose the playoff teams, I think that hurts them. So I like the Ravens to win this game. I think they're better than the Chiefs, but I need to be convinced here. Like the Ravens need to beat the hell out of the Chiefs here for me to like remember the Ravens exist for the next 10 weeks.
So I'm actually going to flip that. I think that it actually benefits this game is going to be way bigger for the Chiefs than the Ravens. The Ravens offense we know can score 30 plus points any game, anytime, whenever they feel like it. This is going to be the testament to the Chiefs to see if they are a team that can keep up with these high caliber teams, because they've got some teams in their schedule that are going to be really, really tough teams that are playoff caliber teams. It is to the Ravens' benefit to not have to pay any more high caliber teams for a long time. Realistically, if they get to beat up on everybody for the rest of the next couple of weeks, like that's a benefit for them that they get to relax. They get to hone in whatever they need to hone in. They get to their third receivers. They don't have to take as much damage on Derrick Henry and D-Hop and some of those guys. Like their defense gets to feel itself out and really get into the groove of the season. I think that it's really tough if you're Ravens, if you start off the season playing the best teams in the NFL and you are just, you got to get into the groove of the season. I think it's to their benefit. I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's the Chiefs here who have the biggest upside to win this game. If the Chiefs go 1-3 to start the season off, and then they have to play against the Lions in a couple weeks, they got to play it. Realistically, if the Chiefs lose this game, are they any better than the Commanders? I don't think so. They play the Bills after this. The Colts, will see what they look mid-season. The Chargers, they got to play later in the season. Like, there's some games here that I look past a bunch of games here that I didn't even think about because the Chiefs have to get past this Ravens team right now. They got to show that their defense is strong enough to stop a really good offense. That's what they got to do. And they got to be able to score.
If the Chiefs lose this game, we are talking about Monday Night Football in Jacksonville with the idea that the Chiefs could lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
But and then next week against the Lions, suddenly the Chiefs are 1-4, right? 1-5 potentially. Like going up against the Raiders. Like, yes, congratulations, you beat the Raiders. Then you go Commanders and Bills after that. The Broncos are probably going to come in and this Chiefs team's not, they're not the team that they used to be. You play against a tough Broncos team, then you play against the Colts, who are looking real good right now with the system that they have developed. Cowboys at home. Cowboys are going to probably be mad about something. They're always mad about some shit. And so the Chiefs' the schedule does not look as soft as people might think when you really look at it, if their offense cannot score the way that they need them to. So honestly, I got the Ravens in this game. I need to see the Chiefs at home play lights out defense against the scariest, in my opinion, still the scariest offense in the NFL. Still the scariest offense in the NFL, with 4 guys at any point who could just be gone. People sleep on it, but Derrick Henry at any point, gone. Zay Flowers at any point, gone. D-Hop at any point, gone. And Lamar, gone. Like, at any point, they could be gone. So it's just like you really need to play lights-out defense against this team. I don't know how they got to do it. They got to get turnovers. If they can get in their head and get some turnovers going, that's their best bet. And obviously, they got to control the line.
I'm not gonna get in on the fumble thing. I'm gonna let it go. That's a conversation for next week. America's game of the week, not our game of the week. Our game of the week available on Chainlink. Colts and Rams play Chainlink. Best way to do free picks. But America's game of the week is probably Packers Cowboys. Just for the narratives. Sean, I got a question for you. Is the NFL better with a good Green Bay and a bad Dallas?
No. I think the NFL is better with a good Raiders team. I think that Green Bay has been a good. Let me get to where I'm going to get to. Both of these teams, if you're from the Midwest, plenty of people are Packers fans. They're going to scream about being cheeseheads, whatever. I don't care. If all over the country, because obviously the Cowboys have been one of the first team to be nationally televised, there's a bunch of Cowboys fans everywhere. You're always hearing them scream about it. It's a pain in my ass. So one of these teams at any point has to be good. They just have to be good, realistically. The Cowboys tend to be, in the last 30 years, have been the worst of the two teams. But
Cowboys fans are Cubs fans.
Whoa.
And I'm over it.
Whoa. How dare you? That is not true. I'm a Cubs fan, and fuck the Cubs.
Don't you dare. Not to say that all Cubs fans are Cowboys fans. I'm saying the level of education, the level of bitching is the same. Cowboys fans and Cubs fans are two peas in a pod. Cubs fans were bitching yesterday because the Cardinals in a rivalry game intentionally walked a guy down 4 so he couldn't hit for the cycle. That's amazing. And that's something the Cubs would do. And Cowboys fans are the same way.
That's something any true fan would do. Don't you dare put a Cubs team that is actually playing good baseball against this garbage-ass Cowboys team, which every year, every fan talking about how it's their year, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Don't you dare. Cubs fans are not delusional like that.
That's true. Cubs fans know they're not going to win. That is fair. That is a fair...
Hey, in my lifetime, I got to see the Cubs win a World Series. In my lifetime, I probably won't ever see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl.
I'm also a Cubs fan
anymore.
I didn't even enjoy 2016 because this team was such a fucking embarrassment for my entire life, plus 100 years. It wasn't even fun. 2016 wasn't even fun.
I cried in 2016. I just want to get back to this game here. I'm going to say this right now. A good Green Bay team, it's what I said before about Love having more time to connect with his receivers. This Cowboys secondary is getting some guys back, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Their D-line is still trash, and Micah Parsons is going to have a field day. Honestly, he knows their offensive schemes. He knows all their offensive schemes. There's no benefit to the Cowboys here. They're screwed.
We are going to see the biggest package ever of Micah Parsons almost beating double teams. And Rashawn Gary on the other side is going to have 3.5 sacks against Dak. I think Parsons has a meaningless game statistically where he is the reason the Packers.
He's Aaron Donald. He's going to be Aaron Donald all over again, bro. It's going to be nothing on the book,
for the stat
and
heads.
It's going to be everything.
I'd be shocked if he gets a sack before meaningless time in the fourth quarter. The stat heads are going to go crazy because he's going to have double teams beat 19 times. Gary's going to go off on the backside. They're going to blitz safeties. The Packers are going to dominate this game, I think.
I feel the same way. Honestly, Cowboys, whether they play at home or on the road, are still trash. This is not one of those teams where it's they're going to be playing a revenge game. No, they're going to fucking suck. So I expect the Cowboys to eat shit this game as they always do. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
Double dose of Monday Night Football. Both games kind of suck. What do you got on Jets Dolphins?
It's a farewell tour for Tua. Just let him out. Just let him have this last season. Let him do his thing. They suck. The Jets aren't any better though. In all honesty, are they? They're on their backup quarterback now. So maybe the Dolphins have a shot to win this game.
Fields is in.
All right. Well, honestly, I don't have any faith in either one of these guys. But I'd say that if I had to put a team to win this game, since it's a Monday night football game, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to give it to Fields and the Jets. If you're in Miami and you're playing with that sun in your face in a day game, then obviously I'll give it to Miami. But no, I can see the Jets winning this game. Their defense is just better, and I think that they're going to give Tua some fits in the backfield. A-Chain just hasn't put it together for me this year yet, and I just don't see Tua throwing for 300 yards. If he does, then they win the game. If he throws for 300, they win the game.
Second game is Bengals-Broncos. We've kind of talked around both of these teams. Do you have anything specific for the Monday night matchup?
Bengals-Broncos is more Bo versus Browning. That's who it is. It's going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes. It's going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how that's not this Bengals team that sucked with their real quarterback.
I mean, look, the Bengals aren't doing too bad right now. They're not doing too bad right now. They could be much worse. Honestly, It's going to be who. So my question is total interceptions this game. Are we looking at +3+? I can see 3+ interceptions.
Yeah, it's probably 1.5 for Browning and 0.5 for Bo, and that's not high enough for Bo. Betting line 4 interceptions. Browning heavily juiced. Over 1.5. Bo's a half. So
that's what you call that. Yeah.
Let's go 4. Let's go 4.
4. So that's 3.5. That's what I thought. Honestly, I'm just looking at these two teams, and this is supposed to be a good Broncos defense. That's the Sean Payton way, is defense, and it's going to be tough against these. Fair enough, but these receivers for the Bengals are going to be tough to guard. They really are. You put the ball anywhere near them, and they're getting it. So it really comes down to how well the secondary is going to be able to cover these guys. Because Browning, I think, is going to be able to get the ball to them. It just depends on whether or not they can be able to make a play at point of contact. So I'm going to give it to the Broncos in this game at home. But I see a tight game here, not a blowout by any means. I feel like this is going to be a 1-score game definitely, if not decided by a field goal.
Yeah, it's sitting 7.5. I'll take the points with the Bengals there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vikings kicked field goal. It is 24-6 with 10 minutes left in that game. I'm kind of glad because it means we didn't have to do like live look-ins. It's just a shitty game in Ireland. Final countdown.
Hey, game for me, baby.
Final countdown. Sean, you got any injuries, weather, line moves, anything catch your eye?
First of all, anybody in the Southwest, we had storms recently. I know they didn't necessarily affect the game, but last night was crazy. Please take care of yourself. I had a lady come by, said she lost her Chihuahua this morning. It was very sad. So, yeah, I'll take that. But Northeast also has some storms as well in the past couple of days. So, just making sure that everybody's safe, taking care of themselves. As far as injuries go, we've already had the quarterbacks, from the last couple of weeks. So we'll see how they pan out having a full week under their belts. And so I'm just excited for another week of football, man.
Yeah, it sounds like Likely's going to play. Hubbard's in, McMillan's in, Baker's in, Godwin's in, Bill is in. Give me Bill to run off some points on the damn Falcons. That's about all I had. Nothing really crazy sitting out there. Okay. Should be a good week. It should be a good week. I'm excited for this one. Yeah.
I'm excited as well. Honestly, it'll be nice. There's some good games this week, guys. Honestly, that Ravens game, Chiefs, the Eagles game is going to be a good game. I think there's some solid, there's going to be in that Colts game, our game of the week. I think it's a good slate for football. So check it out. Please enjoy yourselves, drink some beers, have a good time. And enjoy it while we got it, because football season comes and goes so quickly. We're already a quarter way through the season.
crazy. It's crazy. Thanks for joining us on Yelling and Screaming. Make sure to make your pick for our game of the week on Chainlink this week and every week. If you are in the Phoenix Valley area, we got a lot going on. Club602.com, Club602 on the Instagram. We will see you next week for a little bit of week 5 action. I'm excited. This has been a good season, and I'm ready for more. I'm ready for some more, Sean.
I'm ready. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Hey, yelling and screaming. Enjoy week 4. Enjoy the end of the Vikings game. Peace out, y'all.
Take care, y'all.